morning, all. It takes an immense pleasure in welcoming today's speaker, Ms. Annapurna Ma'am of Emotional Analytics. She's the founder and CEO of Emotional Analytics at Forum. And today she is in the midst of us to discuss a very important concept about self-awareness. If you just go through the codes of self-awareness or self-introspect, we would come to know that the biggest challenge and the biggest courage an individual has to take is to understand and accept one as they are. So that is the biggest challenge, to know ourselves before we understand others. It becomes the foremost important task for each and every individual to understand what they are and where they are and how they should be. So the introspection is something, it is something a very challenging task, and it is a very bravest task. Only when we love ourselves we can love all the people around us. So I think Annapurna ma'am is the best resource person to discuss on this, and she has a vast experience on emotional intelligence. She has been working on with EI in different forums. Even in her profile, it has been very short what she has mentioned, but when you go through the ma'am's like programs whatever she has organized, and in the LinkedIn you could see she has been a member of different forums, and right now she is collaborating with many foreign universities to make EI as a part of academics. That is not that only a session could be like, throw light on what is emotional intelligence or what is that we can improve. Ma'am is working on with a very challenging task, how to have the EI as a part of academics, and how do we make it as a day in and out of our teaching and our personal life. Such a challenging task, ma'am. Kudos to you, and we are very proud to have you in the midst of us. And when I saw her profile, I had a very scary thing. How could I approach her? I don't know how to get her appointment. I thought whether she will have a PA, and whether I could get the date on time, because like we organized it in a very short span of time. But when I texted her, she was very kind enough and very down to earth, and she texted back and she was ready to be a part of this forum. So very, very kind of you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for joining with us. And over to Kavita for a short introduction of the chief guest of the day. Over to you, Kavita. Thank you,
Thank
ma'am,
you
for
so much.
joining with us.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. It's a
Thank
privilege to introduce our today's session speaker, Mr. Annapurna, ma'am. Ma'am is a HR thought leader, effective communicator, keen planner, vivid learner, strategist, and implementer with demonstrated abilities and interpersonal skills in devising various HR activities for accelerating both business growth and organizations. Ma'am holds dual degrees, postgraduate degrees, both in HR and psychology. Ma'am has also got certified in many behavioral areas like counseling, behavioral event interviewing, competency mapping and development, assessment center, design thinking, emotional intelligence from leading international and national institutions. Ma'am is also a certified director for Institute of Directors. Ma'am has around 25 years of experience in HR operations, change management, leadership, learning and development, and organization development. Ma'am has served in multi-dimensional organizational like aeronautical infrastructure, software, sales, services, etc. Ma'am has given a frequent guest lecture session on management and HR practices at various preschools, colleges, and also presentations at numerous conferences and seminars. Ma'am has received many recognitions. To mention few, Women Super Achiever Award in 2009, Women Leadership Award at World HRD Congress 2015, Outstanding Women Workforce Award from NFED, Leading CHRO Award at IIG Conference in 2015, Women HR Leader 2016 in Indian Women Convention, New Delhi, Leading Women in Learning and Development conferred by ISTT in Southern Regional Conference in the year 2017, South Asia Most Talented HR Leadership during the World Congress in the year of 2018, HR Excellence Award in the Higher Education and HR Summit held on April 2018, Women Substance from Mother Teresa University 2019, Rising Catalyst of the Year 2019, Women Entrepreneur of the Year in her Rising by Job for her 2020, Ma'am has also rendered a social service as a volunteer, and presently, ma'am is the chairperson for Women Economic Empowerment Forum, Associated Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Karnataka. This is actually a very short profile of our ma'am, Annapurna ma'am. I welcome you, ma'am. I think you're the right person for this particular topic, self-awareness. I don't want to take much of your time. So today's session is about understanding self-awareness. So I would like to welcome our ma'am for this session. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Kavita ma'am. Thank you, Priya ma'am. It's an absolute pleasure to be there over here. And 2 days back, I have been conferred with one very interesting award that is called Seed of Knowledge, from Sanjeevani School of world-class school. But this award, I take it as a huge responsibility. I told them also, you might have conferred, but the Seed of Knowledge is something which I wanted to really stand up. So I don't deny any opportunity when it comes, especially from educational institutions. I will not take more than an hour to reply them by telling, if I'm free on that day, immediately I reply that yes, I'm available, let's go ahead and do it. Because if not we, then who is my question. Because I have been sitting on the corporate on the other side for last 25 years, and I always had that chance to tell that, okay, kids are not great, faculty is not great, I think we are not producing right type of talent and things like that. But who is responsible for this talent? This talent has to be nurtured both. It's a tripartite agreement type. It is this institution, the business institution, the academic institution, the corporates, and the faculty. All the three have to be working together. That's when they will get a right talent for our workplace. So with this small intro, let me go ahead and share my screen and talk about this subject. Emotional intelligence has been my favorite or my heart close subject, and I am on a mission to spread emotional literacy in the country, because this is one area I think as a country we didn't do much till now. We always have taught our kids to be competitive, cognitive skills, develop IQ. We have assessed them on IQ for all entrance examinations. We have assessed them on IQ for all jobs and things like that. But what actually happened in the last 9 months, 10 months of this pandemic, closer to a year from the time we have heard about this pandemic, is it has brought us down on the knees by telling that it is just not the IQ. EQ is equally important. The leaders have started shaking when they didn't know how to manage a crisis, how to develop resilience in their workforce. We didn't know how to work from home. We didn't know how to teach from home. Children are getting disturbed. Adolescents are not able to take care of themselves well, being there. And it is a very challenging time we are all going through. However said, but I think the only way which we can come sail through this pandemic and be there as a very very positive way is to build our EQ muscle across the ecosystem. So that's something which I wanted to share with you before I begin my presentation and topic, because let me not divert myself, else I will go and talk something more on EQ, which will become bigger thing. Okay. Thank you for giving this wonderful topic on self-awareness, because I think from the last 24 months, when I started my humble beginning of transitioning from a corporate, from a very, I had a very luxurious career, very high position, being the CHRO of an IT company, traveling all around the globe. I had all of this and all. But when I thought that let me, give a pause for that, and then let me start doing myself something which I'm more passionate about and things like that. The fundamental thing which I worked first is on self-awareness, because I need to know who am I. If I don't know who am I and I don't get introduced to who am I, then how will I really do anything more? So this is what, are you all, is it all comfortable, audible, visible, my slides and all? I want to give a quick check.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, wonderful.
Yes, ma'am.
You wanted me to do some vernacular language in between, if you feel so. I'm okay with Tamil. I'm not telling that I'm great at Tamil, but I don't know if the participants are all from Tamil Nadu or any other places. Priya ma'am? Are all the faculty members from Tamil Nadu?
Yes, ma'am. We have a mixed group, and
Okay.
I think participants, oh no, no ma'am, some of them are texting, no ma'am. Mixed
Okay.
group. We
Okay,
can
so mixed.
have a little bit of mixed things, ma'am.
Okay, mixed means we are from which places? If I could, if
English
you
is
could.
comfortable. They feel
English is
English is
comfortable, okay.
comfortable.
But still, it is Tagore College, so vanakkam. So let me have that privilege of telling great vanakkam for everyone. And I know it is a great time. And today, I think it will be a momentous time when Rajnikant tells that Nanu vare politics ke ani sollittu. So we are waiting for the big decision which is going to happen, because I'm also a great fan of Rajni, because Rajni belongs to Karnataka and then goes to Tamil Nadu. So we all share him a lot. Okay. So let me go ahead with this topic of self-awareness. Let me also minimize this so that you will not have this also. It is quite visible. As ma'am was telling, I represent emotional ethics because, see, this is a very fusion word when I talk about emotional ethics also. It is a fusion word of emotions and analytics. It is talking about EI and AI also. So first, fundamentally, I'll be working on EI, and slowly I'll be integrating, I'll be powering this with AI. So there is a lot of research which is coming in the space of EI. So I think we should embrace this, and I would request all the faculty members also, please pay attention to EI, because that will change the way you are teaching. That will change the way you're building those young this one's younger generation who's going to come into the job market and things like that. So definitely the two things which will change the world are AI and EI. So definitely let us work towards both of this. The first and foremost important person is you, and must believe in yourself. I will start with this quote, because if you don't believe in yourself, and I think then there will be no one else who can believe in yourself. So let's believe in ourselves first, our capacities, our visions. So self-awareness is a comprehensive self-assessment of your potential, your skills, and your competencies. It is the ability to know what you are doing, to understand your moods and emotions and how they impact your life. If this is something which we can consistently, day on and day in, if you are able to do it, I think we have achieved much of ourselves. With self-awareness, you identify your inner motivation. What motivates you? What are your drivers? What are the reasons behind your reactions or actions? Anything. What are our triggers? Which trigger can give us which type of reaction? I'll tell you a simple example. This happened in this morning. So there was one small WhatsApp message in my CHRO group, and one person sent an image where telling that there was a plate which was divided into 4 quarters. They told in 1 quarter we eat 1 quarter, and 3 quarters of it goes to doctors. I see that person has just generally sent that message, and many of them have liked it also. For me, for a moment it was okay. The second moment, when I don't know, I became a mother of a doctor, and it triggered me a lot. I thought, how is it they can tell this? Because doctors do not have time to even eat, and they're not having, because I know I'm seeing consistently from the last 6 months where my daughter is behind all those COVID patients. She's striving very hard. So see how the triggers work. Then later I thought, oh, might be there is something else this person want to tell, but for me it has been that trigger. So every time it is not necessary, even though something has passed off, you can just give a stop for yourself and then think, oh, why did I react like this? Oh, because of this. This is what has made me, because my motherly love has triggered off. I might have not seen the message in a different sense altogether. So there could be, so a time and again, I think every time when an hour passes, when a half a day passes for us, we should just give a momentary stop on ourselves and see what are the main things which has happened to us. Maybe a student would have told something. Maybe you were, during the course of your day, something has happened. Somewhere something major has happened. Just take a moment, reflect on it, and see what was your action. That action was very conducive for you and for the others, or was there a learning? If there was a learning, take it as a learning. Don't blame yourself. It is no self blame. You're just learning, and this process is a very difficult process. This process takes time, and it is not easy. Sometimes you are very much overwhelmed with that process. So be it. Don't get into the blaming of yourself by telling, oh, why me? Why should I have done this? Oh, I should have not reacted like this or responded like that. It's okay. Self-awareness is a journey to eternal journey. It is. It is till our graveyard, we are going to build our self-awareness. The more we are self-aware and self-aware and self-aware, we will know how to be happier and happier. We will be able to be, we will be seeing harmony within ourselves and others. So self-awareness will allow you to learn about the things you don't like in your life, so that you can do the necessary improvements to live happier. It will tell us what we like, what we don't like, anything. To me, the main aim of self-awareness is to create a meaningful life, so that we can live in harmony with who you really are and what matters to you. It is not to the others, it is to you. You should be happier first. Can you develop something like that? Okay. So self-awareness is also the core step to tap into both emotional intelligence and leadership. If you are developing young leaders, if you're doing something, if you're because as faculty members, you are having this whole power in your hands. You're empowered to give that great education, great personality building, great vision to those youngsters, and train their minds, to be great leaders. So self-awareness is a core step to tap into both the emotional intelligence and the leadership. It's one of the keys of personal growth and success also. So it provides you with more authenticity, motivation, and confidence. It is a great skill that you can develop when the right tools are combined with a consistent practice. It also gives us power and comfort. People who are more self-aware are more creative, better communicators, and they perform better at work also. That's something which can happen to us if we are more self-aware. So let's see this questionnaire which I've built here, and it is a very nice questionnaire. If you would have been on a face-to-face, I would have got it done, but I'll read this 24 questions because they're very powerful questions, and they're called a self-assessment questionnaire. I will share it with Priya ma'am, so that she can send it to all of you. You can take this test, and on a scale of 1 to 5, you can see yourself what is your self-awareness score, after doing this self-assessment. You can do it like, what are you good at? Sometimes over your life, you will tell, you go ahead and tell to your friends, to yourself, and to your colleagues, or to your parents, or to your friends. You tell, I'm not good at anything. How is that possible? If you're not good at anything, you will not be there anywhere over here. Then what are you passionate about? Each one of us are passionate about something, and that is what we have to really discover. Probably for me, I had been a very mechanical life. I was born in a very small town called, I don't know how many of you know this place also. It is in the state of Orissa. It is in a small place of Koraput called a place. It's from a very Adivasi place. So often I resemble myself as a very tribal woman also. From there to coming down, my first job was in Tamil Nadu, in Coimbatore. So I really have a lot of regards for Coimbatore. And then from there on, my journey started. But somewhere I didn't know what is something which is my passion. So when I went through my journey of 25 years of corporate life, I only felt that two things are driving me. One is women empowerment. Two is the emotion side of the human. So these two had come out very vividly after some time when I sat and did my self-awareness. And then I thought, at least my rest of my life, I should dedicate to do something over here. This is something. So these are my passion. And when passion drives you, when passion becomes your energy, when passion, then you make it, convert it into your ikigai. That is your purpose of your life. That's your, meaning for yourself. That's where you'll start, earning, doing everything around it. So today, if you talk to me, after last 24 months, I have just passionately started doing everything around emotional intelligence. So it is giving me a lot of happiness. Do you have any particular gifts or talents? We all are gifted. We are all gifted with lot of gifts. Today morning, if we are able to get up and 32 of us are able to meet together on the Zoom platform and talk about a very important subject on self-awareness, aren't we all gifted? Aren't we? And how many times we just pat our backs? Please pat your back right now, and tell that I am a gifted person. I can't see it, but just do it. What qualities do you want to strengthen? Which weaknesses do you want to eliminate? Just eliminate it. Some of the things we don't wanted, you just wanted, let it go. You may not be able to work on it. It is a permanent weakness. And I let it go. I'll tell you for an example on this. I don't know. I cannot. I don't know how much of you can see or things like that. But when I was a very small girl, when I was a very small girl, and when my parents were discussing about me, and they were trying to tell that how is it? She's, why this has happened to my daughter? Why this has to happen to our daughter and all? God, what is it and all? I know something has happened to me. I didn't know what is wrong with me, and my mom was telling, why should God create a face like this and all? So I didn't understand anything. But believe me, my friends, my first 18 years of my life, 18 to 19 years of my life, I didn't spend much time on mirror. I didn't spend much time on photographs. I didn't do anything and all, because my right side of my facial, this one, I have been paralyzed over here. It's called Bell's palsy. So these 5 nerves which come out over here, they are paralyzed. So what happens? There is a swinging, there is a shift of it and things like that. But this affected me a lot. This was my weakness. But the moment I thought I should work around this, the moment I became a little self-aware as to this is not my weakness and how do I eliminate it, I brought a lot of strength to myself. So we need to know our qualities. We need to know how to strengthen ourselves time and again. That's why we have to get back and start, seeing how can we strengthen and how can we eliminate. This is a weakness. This is something. Maybe some other time someone else would have got into an accident and lost their leg or hand or an eye or some other part. That is a weakness, permanently disabled. That's okay. That is nothing to do with us. We are having many more strengths. Can we work on that? So remember, there are so many people, but they might not be complete as we think, but they have a lot of strengths. So we should see those qualities. What do you think of yourself? Because every time, whenever you're thinking of yourself, you have to give a very powerful statement of yourself. When I have to tell what is Annapurna, I will always give back to myself as an answer that Annapurna is a very courageous and a very highly integrated human being. That is what stands for me. And I love to be like that. What kind of a person you want to be? What are your values and beliefs? What are your limiting beliefs? What emotions do you feel most of the time? These are some things. What makes you feel bad? What is your greatest fear? What is your most marked characteristic? What are your top 5 priorities and goals? What is your favorite journey? What is your greatest regret? When and where are you happiest? If you could change one thing about yourself, what it could be? What do you consider your greatest achievement? What is your favorite occupation? How do you want to improve? How can you care for yourself better? What do you want to achieve this year? How can you be healthier? What activities do you need to do? How will you add value to yourself and other people's lives? What strengths you have that you can help others? I sincerely say you, my friends, these 24 questions are very power-packed questions. Please spend some time, write them, scale them up on a 1 to 5 and figure it out, where are you, and start working for yourself. This 24 questions itself will give you answers on your self-awareness, and it will give you focus as to where to work, how to build yourself and things like that, right? So going forward, to understand the concept of more of self-awareness, let us break it into these all things: a self-concept, a self-awareness, a SWOT analysis, self-assessment, and a Johari window. Very, very favorite for me. Joe and Harry have given us very, very great tool for all of us. I'm sure you all also would be knowing. A self-concept. Self-concept refers to your subjective description of what you think you are. That is self-concept. This is not very technically this one. We all put it as self-awareness, but there are these little words which we have to know. What concept of yourself you are keeping it in your mind. So it is a very descriptive description. Even we can take up this small exercise by telling self-concept, and then we can write a subjective description. Who am I? What is it? And what do I think of myself? Then what is the self-image I carry? Self-image is your view of yourself in a particular situations. Whenever you take certain situation, what image are you portraying internally, externally? We have different roles to perform as a faculty member, as a teacher, as a professor, or as a homemaker. I mean, as a wife, as a spouse, as a daughter-in-law, or as a mother-in-law, or father-in-law, fathers, mothers, everything. So what self-image is in your view of yourself in a particular situations? What do you do that? Carl Rogers has given a very beautiful definition of self-concept in 3 different ways. He's saying the view you have of yourself is called the self-image. The view we carry about ourselves is self-image. How much value you place on yourself is the self-esteem or self-worth. That's what is going down. You know, every time what we do, we just go ahead and we'll tell, I'm good for nothing. You know, you're giving your brain that neuro signal by telling that brain that I'm good for nothing. I'm placing my value down. Please don't do this. All of us are highly valuable individuals and human beings. Raise your self-esteem, raise it again and again. I am able to do this, I can do this, I'm able to perform this, I'm so self-worth. My goodness, I'm able to teach my children, I'm able to give back something to the society. I'm in the greatest profession of teaching. See, these are all self-worth. You're building your value there. What you wish you were really like is the ideal self. And every time there is a conflict, you know, between these three things, it is very difficult. No one can be in the ideal self. No one can tell that, hey, I would like to be with spending time with my children at home because I'm a mother. I don't want to make them feel guilty. I also wanted to serve my in-laws, or I wanted to be a good father. I wanted to be a good mother. I also wanted to do my professional work also at my best and things like that. That's an ideal self. You're telling it should become God. No, we all cannot become those things. We all cannot become gods. We are just human beings. But in that given situation, in that given in our given skills, competencies, whatever we are, how can I make an ideal self of myself? This is what I am. Let me come to terms with what I am. So that's something which is the definition what Rogers has put forward. So this, if you're seeing as a in a diagrammatic way, a person's self perception about self-image, how do you see yourself? Self-worth, how do you value yourself? Ideal self, what you want to be. So if you see this, sometimes we can also do this, you know, maybe a very old lady, but she's seeing her self-image as a very young lady. Ideal self, oh, I wanted to be there over here. How is it, what I should do, and things like that. Yeah, it's like this. Self-esteem, you know, always, anywhere, whatever, whether it's a man, woman, whatever it is, I'll put a self-esteem and things like that. So these are the three components of a self concept, you know, what we're talking about, that embodies the question as who am I? Self-image, ideal self, and self-esteem. So these are some things. So what is an important part of the self concept between self-image and self-esteem? Self-image is an internal feeling, you know, that influences as to how you see yourself. Self-esteem is how you feel about yourself emotionally. Each person has its own personal views, because when you're combining the internal feeling and the feeling about yourself with emotion, that becomes your own way of projecting yourself. How you believe other people see at you is a self-image. The learned beliefs about how you see your physical experience, those are, like I was sharing with you, one of the learned belief, thinking that I'm not beautiful, I'm not great at looking, and I have spoiled my childhood, I've spoiled my the whole of my adolescence period, everything and all. So related to beliefs, attitudes, and opinions is a self-image. When you come to self-esteem, characteristics and beliefs of one's body and mind that shapes our self-esteem. Synonyms or near synonyms like self-worth, self-regard, self-respect, and self-integrity. So many words are there, so many things become, so many of these becomes as our processes when we talk about self-awareness as together, right? So self-concept, when we take it combines into four this ones, self-esteem, body image, role performance, and personal identity. These are very, very, very critical when you talk about. I will showcase you, and mainly this body image I wanted to spend some time, because this is becoming a bigger issue nowadays, when we are talking about the students community, or the students coming out from the colleges and getting into the corporate community also. And this has been a subject of great talk nowadays also. So self-esteem, confidence in one's own worth or abilities or self-worth. Am I worth of this? Am I so much of value? It refers to the way we see and think about ourselves. How do I project myself? I will do it, I can do it, I will try to do it. How do I do it? I want to do it, I can't do it, I want to do it. I won't be able to do it. Yes, I did it. So much of things like that. So some of the 10 steps which we can lead to self-esteem: know yourself. That's a fundamental thing. How can I know more and more of myself? Understand what makes you feel great. Recognize things that let you down. Just go and see what is that which is bringing you down, what emotions are bringing, what triggers have happened, what situations have come, what consequences, who are the people who have made you to get you down. Set goals to achieve what you wanted, because a goal driven approach is always good for us to work towards it. Develop trusting relationships and friendships that make you to feel good. Don't ever go to people who will bring down your energy down, who will talk negative of things. They will, some of the people were there are around us, they'll tell, oh, corona second wave will come, we all are going to die away, oh, the businesses are going to go down, oh, there is no more educational institutions, education is going to change off, oh, these are not going to give jobs, oh, teachers are not going to have any more this ones. Lot of negativity, not of negativity. Please, I would request that just don't listen to them, avoid them, keep away from them. If you're not having such people also, it's okay, but don't have people. If you don't have anyone to talk also, it's okay, but don't have such people to talk to you and influence you to such an extent that they will drain your energy. Don't be afraid to ask for help. It is okay. It is not something we are doing this wrong. Ask for help in need whenever. The help may come, may not come, but that's okay. Asking is not a crime, I would say. Stand up for your beliefs and values, lot of it. I'll share just before our session, 15 minutes before, I was supposed to do a leadership session for one of the manufacturing company, and this someone was doing all the background work, and this girl came back and told me, Annapurna, it seems it looks like this particular program they wanted to give it for a male trainer. I told, what is the difference between male and female trainer? What is it you're talking about? Then they told, no, the particular thing, they wanted to do it through a male trainer, and the next one, they want to do it through you. I told, look, I have no difference when it calls, and my strict belief is women and man and women are same in their competencies as long as they can do. So this is my strict value system and my belief system. If they're not able to accommodate me in here, let it be. I will not do any programs. So stand up. If you're not able to stand up, I can lose my client. That's okay. But then what will happen is I will fall in my eyes. I will fall in my beliefs. I will fall in my value system, which I don't want to do it. Okay, keep helping someone else. Try to do helping. You guys, you as faculty members, you're always there to help your children and do great things. Take responsibility for your actions. Take good care of yourself. These are some of the 10 steps. If you could follow, you can build a great self-esteem. Good self-esteem gives us CPC. What is CPC? It gives us immense courage to try new things. It gives us power to believe in yourself. It gives you confidence to take healthy choices of your mind, body now and throughout your life. That's the wonderful thing if you are having a good self-esteem, if you have built it. Body image, I was talking about. It is based on our thoughts and feelings about the way our body looks. People are judging your appearance can affect your body image. Some of them will tell, oh, I'm dark skinned, oh, I'm very tall, oh, I'm very short, oh, I'm very fat. And this poor body image comes with negative thoughts, feelings, appearance, a lot of disturbance. Body shaming is becoming a very, very important subject nowadays. And children and many of the young adults and in corporates also, we are seeing huge depression cases coming out from this only thing called body shaming. So whatever is our body, we can always exercise it to bring it back. We can always make it maintainable. There are a lot of things, because body image is a major factor for building self-esteem. That's why we have to always encourage, especially the younger children, when they are there, they come up with a lot of issues and things like that. We have to just tell them that, hey, it's okay, whatever it is, but then try to do something, try to work on it, and then have a great feel about yourself and things like that. So that's where body image is a major factor in building self-esteem, which is the way you think and feel about yourself as a person. The roles which we perform, this concept relates to how successfully you have played a prescribed role. The role, what we are seeing the 4 dimensions of this self concept. So where is the role? So whatever role we are performing, be it faculty, be it as a manager, as a leader, whatever it is. This concept relates to how successfully you play the prescribed role. You need to understand the every dimension of this role and how you have performed this role to the fullest, and their performance are measured in terms of the relative success or failure in that role. If supposing you're a failure in that role, then that will bring us down completely. So the next last one is the personal identity. How do you do this personal identity? It is more to the connected with our brain or the body. And we see that when we are identifying ourselves, we identify ourselves with intellectuality, experiences, physical changes, physical experiences, being in charge of something, our parents, our experiences, our past history, uniqueness, memories, emotions, industry we work for, society, environment, religion, everything is our personal identity. This is the question of personal identity. So if there is a disturbance in any of these things, it will also bring down our self-image. It will also hamper our self-esteem and things like that. You would have seen many people, some kid in the younger stage of their life, they would have lost their parents and things like that. They didn't get parental love. So there is a different effect on them. They have a lot of things, past history, past memories. If they've not had a great childhood, if they have been I have seen many children who have been sexually abused at a very younger stage, and their personalities have affected in a major way when they came back into their adult stages and things like that. Then there are men and women who got separated after marriages and things like that, and it hampered their productivity, their performance, their personal identity, lot of things and things like that and all. So there is a lot of effect on our personal identity also. So these are the four concepts when we are talking about self concept. And how can you improve your self concept? Improve your self concept by identifying and recognizing your strengths to improve your confidence. Learn to praise yourself, time and again. Be giving that. Oh, great, Annapurna, you have got up in the morning without any ailment. Oh, wonderful. You have done so half of the day with very great thing. Oh, you have finished this task. Wow, wonderful. You are able to speak to 30 or 40 odd people today, to your faculty members across the country, and it's such a nice discussion you're having. Wonderful. Develop a positive attitude. It's only in your hands to develop a positive attitude. If you're going to enter 2021 with a lot of negativity, it will drain us down. I'm trying to tell you that positive psychology is going to be a great concept. Positivity, developing a positive attitude, whatever may be the situation. I know it is very hard. People come and tell, how, Anpurna, so many things are happening to me, how can you tell me that I should be positive? And don't think that because I'm telling you I have a great positive attitude, sometimes I too drain off, and I have to take a break. I just take a break and tell, okay, fine, forget it. Now this 30 minutes, I have to just not do anything, give rest to my brain, give rest to myself, think about it, do a very creative activity. Do an activity which you like the most, maybe cooking, maybe drawing, maybe talking to someone, maybe going out in the garden, maybe singing, maybe listening to music, maybe seeing TV, whatever you like. Just disturb yourself for some time, because it is very difficult. It is very difficult to bring back positive attitude all the 365 days and 24 hours and bar 7. It's very difficult. It's not at all an easy thing. So time and again, just go back and see what else you can do. Spend time with your supportive friends. There are good supportive friends. Take the call with them. Speak at least to one friend a day, so that it will prep you up, it will push you up, and they will recognize your strengths. They will tell you, they will support you, they will take the lead, and they will do something. They will help you in doing some positivity towards you. Self-awareness, the second thing. It's all about knowing yourself. It is the key to our self-knowledge. Understanding oneself and our own motives and characters. Self-understanding is awareness of an ability to understand our own actions, thoughts and actions. That is what is self-awareness. And who you really are. Why do you do the things the way you do? What is making you to do those things, what you're doing? Thinking about your own think about your own thinking process. Sometimes they'll tell, what are you thinking? What is the thought process which is going on? So time and again, go back, care about what other people think and feel, but don't get into that. Just care. Take the feedback. Don't think that if supposing they're going on telling you something very abuse you or telling you, don't take it as and create a create a self-image. To step back and to review. Always take the feedback, step back and just sit and review. Have a self-reflection of your feelings, of your interactions, of your thoughts and of your actions. This is called FITA, FITA. This FITA is something which you have to be doing. What are my feelings? What are my interactions which is happening with myself and with others? What are my thoughts which are happening with myself? And what are the actions I am taking or have taken? If we time and again concentrate to do this, then you're building a great amount of self-awareness. Okay. So how self-awareness can make you more effective? It can help you in your skill development. You know where you're good at, where you have to learn new skills. It will help you to know your strengths and weaknesses. It will help you to make a very good decision-making skills. You'll be able to be very clear when you take decisions. It will also reduce the distress in yourself, the anxiety, the fears, the kind of disturbance which is making in your mental disbalance and things. It preps us for great motivation. It showcases a lot of leadership for ourselves. So that's how the self-awareness can help us to become more effective. The next one is a SWOT. What is SWOT? Strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, right? Strengths. We all know this is a great way, to do. If you wanted to become self-aware, do this. I keep on telling for everyone, and not only for youngsters, for adults also, for us also, all the time we have to do this 2 by 2 and see what are my strengths, what are my weaknesses, what are my opportunities, what are my threats, and things like that and all. We have to be time and again doing it. Let us take an example of two people. One person, when we talk about strength and opportunities, I'll connect with one person. When we talk about weakness and threats, we'll talk about another person. Okay, so if supposing my strengths is my work experience, my education, my technical expertise, my transferable skills, my personal characteristics, good networking contacts, associations, business groups. Say supposing, and I would say that, my weakness is lack of work experience, my limited education, wrong major which I have selected, limited technical knowledge, lack of job knowledge, weak interpersonal skills, negative personal characteristics. Opportunities, positive trends in your field. Supposing you have a technical expertise, what can be your positive trends? Enhancing education, fields in need of your skills, geography, ability to move. Can you move somewhere? Strengthening your network, utilizing skills in different way, enhancing personal development. Then threats, negative trends in your field, competition in your field, training and education obstacles, limited advancement in the field, limited ability to develop, limited positions in your area. This is just an example as to how we can do our SWOT. We can put all this, and then we can figure out as to how exactly we can see ourselves in these things. So supposing I'm a well-educated master degree holder, I'm proficient in English, I'm very patient and careful, I'm a great team worker, I'm an extensive reader and a quick learner. So what are the opportunities I can do? I can even speak, I can do English speech, I can go ahead in platforms like TED, I can do a lot of chances to communicate with the native speakers in after sales service or something, and English learning clubs, I can be there forming and do that. These are my strengths and these are my opportunities. Say supposing I'm a person with, I don't have much of technical knowledge and things like that. Let us see this weakness and threats on this one. I'm not experienced in the search engine optimization field. Okay. Then what will happen? I will get, and I'm a person who will be easily distracted, often procrastinate, disorganized, not creative enough. What are my threats? What will be? People with better web page design skills do better than me, not a good team leader. I cannot do that. Used to work in small company which doesn't offer professional training, so I cannot be there. So somehow we can relate our professions, we can relate our personal strengths, everything, and make a very good SWOT analysis for ourselves, and then also be aware where our strengths are, where our opportunities are, where our weaknesses are, and where our threats are. Why a SWOT analysis? This SWOT analysis is a great planning tool, to understand strengths, weakness, opportunities, and threats involved in any projects, business, or in our profession, anything. We can use this framework for organizing and using data and information gained from situation analysis of internal and external environment. In any situations, we can make this and use this SWOT analysis and figure out, what is happening. How is the internal environment for me? How is the external environment for me? And this is a great technique that enables a group or an individual to move from everyday's issues, problems in a very traditional way to a very fresh perspectives. So that's how we can, move. We can become more productive. We can become more performance oriented, and all together we can create a lot of happiness and a lot of great, professional strength for us. So the self-assessment is something which we have need to take. I showed you one self-assessment on self-awareness. There is something like this 2022, the skills which we are seeing from World Economic Forum, which has created, is these are the top 10 skills which will be growing: the analytical thinking and innovation, active learning and learning strategies, creating originality and initiative, technology, design and programming, critical thinking and analysis, complex problem solving, leadership and social influence, emotional intelligence, reasoning, problem solving and ideation, system analysis and evaluation, resilience. So many things they have brought it. And the other side is all the declining skills which we have done in the past for a long time. We have been memory oriented, we have been verbal, auditory, and things like that. Reading, writing, maths, active. The active learning versus active listening. So that's what they're talking about. Quality control, safety awareness, visual, technology usage, monitoring. They're telling that these are all declining. These are all the new skills which are there, which are required for us in 2022 or next 2 years or next 10 years. They're predicting a lot of these skills which are coming out. So if we are telling that, if we have to be in our professions, we have to be self-aware as to where do we score on all of these things. Are we prepared for embracing these skills in our professions? Are we able to teach this to our students? Are we able to know about all of this, what is required for us, for the future of jobs for us? So what else we can do? We can, at least to start with, we can develop a great skills around time management, communication skills, interpersonal communications, grooming and etiquettes, delegation of work and authority, leadership skills, self-confidence, technological skills, managing stress and tensions, self-evaluations. At least if we are able to start with this, they get integrated with all the others which they had been there. Because if you talk about, okay, what is analytical thinking and innovation? Somewhere, it comes up, it just falls into somewhere of these things again and all. So it is quite important for us to go back and see that whether we can at least get into these skills to get into those core skills of jobs which are being required now for the self enhancement of it. The last but not the least, let us talk about this great concept called Johari window. Johari window is you all know, I'm sure of it. It is one arena of it is like, I know, you know. The other is, I know, you don't know. I know, you know, I don't know, and both of us are not knowing. So when I know, you know, it becomes a public. I know your name. You know, my name is Annapurna. I know my name is Annapurna. That's now a public. And I know that I work for Emotional Analytics. I'm the founder of that. So it's a public. So a lot of informations like that, it can come. As I shared with you a lot of things now, I'm opening up and I listen. I know you didn't know. So some of the things which we had started today, you didn't know about me, and I shared. So this has been a blind, and I have opened up and I made it a public. Then, I don't know. This is hidden. I don't know. I have to check with you guys, and then I have to get. So this is the phase of feedback. Most of the times, when time and again, let us ask feedback from people, and let's take the feedback from people, and that's where we can develop from each other. We'll become more self-aware. People will be telling, I'm observing you for the past few days, you have become too angry. Is it so? No, I'm not showcasing any anger and things like that. No, these are the situations. You see how you're becoming irritated and angry about others, and for small things you're arguing and things like that. They'll come back and they'll talk about it. So that's where you will know, oh, this is a feedback which is coming to me. Let me understand this. So this is known to others, unknown to me. Okay, or rather, if you are putting self over here, others over here, you can read it any which case. Okay. Here is the thing which is unknown to me and others also. That's a potential. So discover this. This is the phase of discovery. If you wanted to be a great at your self-awareness, build great self-awareness, use Johari window consistently, lots and lots to know, and apply this, and sharing doesn't mean that you will become public and everything will be known. It is your choice, what you wanted to share, how you wanted to share about you and know it. And sometimes you may say, this is not the right forum, right situation, right people to share. That's okay. Whenever you wanted to share, you can always share it, right? That's how you can. In most cases, the aim in the group should be to develop the open area of every person. Working in this area with others usually allows for enhanced individual and team effectiveness and productivity. The open area is a space where good communications and coordinations occur, free from confusion, conflict, and misunderstanding. Why do we say that you should improve your more of your public open area? Because if you're working together, if you're working in collaboration, people should know your likes, your dislikes. If you are the HOD, if you are the manager, if you are something, you should always see that you share about yourself. If you are a very time oriented person, you should set that thing, and you should let know the other person. Otherwise the person will not know about your things and all. Discipline, whatever it is you wanted to let know, certain things, whatever you wanted to expect from others, you have to also let know the people also. That's where you can increase. So this will allow us to be free from confusion, conflicts, and misunderstandings. Johari window. What is the way forward for all of us when learning the self-awareness is, you cannot attain emotional intelligence and leadership if you still struggle with your self-awareness. That's for sure. So please, that's the fundamental. If you go to Daniel Goleman's 5-step model also, he's talking about first is managing self or self-awareness. Then he talks about internal motivations. Then he talks about, managing your emotions. Then he talks about interpersonal relationships and managing empathy and things like that. So these are the 5 quotients which he's talking about, the 5 dimensions of it. So if you wanted to increase your emotional intelligence, if you wanted to become a great leader, then you have to know, you have to be a great at your self-awareness. Awareness is about purpose and clear goals. When you are given a sense of purpose, then everything around you will have a sense, and no one will be able to stop you. So please work on what is your purpose, what is it you wanted to do with your life, and where is it you wanted that you want to take those journeys forward and things like that. So that will give you a great amount of understanding as to, then you'll become more self-aware, and you'll start going or taking those paths towards your purpose. You cannot assess the work and competencies of others if you're unable to make your own self-assessment. Isn't it? It's how true is the statement. So please make self-assessment of yourself before you land up and tell to others that you're not good at this, you're not good at that, and things like that and all. Knowing yourself is the beginning of all wisdom. That's something which I want to leave you with, this thought by Aristotle, by telling knowing yourself is the beginning of all wisdom. So know yourself, then before you knowing others. What do you know about yourself? That's something which is the way forward for us. Thank you. It was a wonderful, wonderful time which I had been trying to spend with you. So I take this is my contacts. I'm there very, very much on LinkedIn, and you can also write to me. You can take a picture of this if you wanted to be connected on me on with my phone. I'll be available there, and you can be on my WhatsApp and things like that. Anything which you ever wanted. We'll spend some 5 to 7 minutes on some questions, some thoughts, some feedback, anything, whatever you feel like sharing. So thank you for this opportunity. I will do a stop share and I'll come back. Yes, thank you. Yes, go ahead and.
Yes, ma'am. Your very, very, very wonderful session, ma'am. Your mind-blowing session. So it was no words. You made us spellbound, and very much impressed with the way how you took the self-awareness, ma'am. Because it is not only that is what you touched upon is self-awareness. You did touch upon what is the difference between self-concept and how we attained that to the self-esteem. That was really eye-opener, and also it was like a very motivational, and it was just spiritual. It was inspiring and what not in your session, ma'am. And your real life story is, it created a goosebumps. You said it very casually. So it is not that you gave a very good message to us, that it is not where you come from or what is we carried in our birth or in our life. It is what we are right now. So you gave a very good message, and a very important message, ma'am. I would like to say, you said no, why like this? Don't listen to negative people, because this is what is that we are hearing from people around us. They think they console us, but we hear a lot of complaints, whether we will come up or whether this situation will go or do like that. You said it in a very nice way, ma'am. Very nice, and thank you, ma'am. Thank you for a very wonderful session. And it's not only from me. I think I just represented all the participants So I was also one of the participants, and on behalf of all the participants, we thank you with our whole heart. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank
And
you.
thank you, ma'am. So participants, any questions?
Yeah.
The forum is open for you all.
Yes, please. Any questions, anything, you can unmute yourself, you can tell, or
Happy
you can.
morning, ma'am.
Happy
Really a
morning.
very wonderful session, ma'am. Thank you so much for the wonderful session, ma'am.
Thank
Ma'am,
you.
as you said, some weaknesses are our permanent weakness, ma'am.
Yes.
Like that, I identified, even though I am very bold and courage in so many situations, but unawareingly, sometimes I will cry or tears will come like that.
Yes.
How to overcome all those things?
Allow
ma'am?
it to happen, Tamilarisi. Allow it to happen. Please allow it to happen, because you're not, I told you, we're all not gods. We're human beings. We're completely emotional. We feel those emotions so much. We need not be courageous and bold in all the situations. It's certain times you have to let go. You're emotionally draining off is also good. Tears are a form of let going things. Then again you'll regenerate. Again you'll come back. Your boldness will come back. But let that moment pass through you. It's okay. Let it go through. No problem. No problem at all. So don't give your body, mind, and soul that trigger, that signal telling that, oh, Tamil Arasi means that she is a very bold and courageous. She should never cry. No, not at all. So please allow it to
Thank you so
happen.
much, ma'am. Actually, today, as you said, self-image. I have thought about myself.
Yes.
Sometimes, by seeing certain situations, I thought whether I am right or all these people are right. I have a doubt. But today, you have cleared all my doubts. Yes, I am right. I can go this way. Thank you
Yes.
so much, ma'am. Thank you
Yes.
so much for giving me such a wonderful thought. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Yes, Kirti ma'am, how to win emotion of our every personal bound people when they start exploiting us, never understand our feelings. So it's okay. See, you're not the creator for everyone. So, see, you should only understand there is an emotion which has happened with you. If you are believing that relationship is very important, go ahead, have a discussion. Go ahead and have an assertive discussion with the person. Share your feelings with the person and ask him or her, why did they want to do this with us? So, but if that relationship is not very important, it is someone else and things like that, just take it as a feedback and leave it there. Let not it exploit you. Let not it pull you down. And sometimes some people will be there around us by telling that, let us do more. The moment they will know that this is a trigger for this person, they will make it more often visible and more often usable, those triggers. So don't worry about such things. If it is a very important relationship which you wanted to have it throughout your life, and it's very this one, invest your time, energy, resources, everything over there and mend that relationship. If it is not, just ignore it. Just take it as a feedback and leave it. Yes, Praveen Bhanu, ma'am.
Yeah. Hello.
Yes.
Yes,
One
good
second.
morning
Yeah,
to one and
suggest
all.
the reason means to be happy always.
Hello.
Praveen Bhanu, ma'am, you can be happy anytime, ma'am. It's only the mindset. And
Hello. Yes, good morning, madam.
good morning, Syed sir.
Yes, madam. Thank you for taking us to the Shadabdi Express. Very nice.
Yeah, absolutely. I know it is a very, very.
Thank you so much, madam. I think in a short span of time you have presented a lot. You have given a lot of PPTs. Thank you so much for observing and seeing all those things. Madam, one question I have, madam. Basic
Yes,
question. We have touched the word self-image, self-esteem, and all those things.
Yes, sir.
But how it differs from self-control, madam? Whether it has got any relevance or any connectivity is there, or we have to give more importance to that, something like that. Thank you, sir.
I precisely that. Yes, there is a word called self-control, but I don't endorse much to self-control, sir. Why I would say that? See, don't control your emotions. Emotion is something which it goes. Regulate your emotions. I will tell self-regulation instead of self-control. Whenever you're going through any of the emotion, whenever you're going through any of the thoughts, whatever it is, don't control, don't put thoughts come in your mind. It is said that we process around 70 to 80,000 thoughts in a day. And out of that, we are processing 70% of repetitive thoughts. In that, 60 to 70% are again all negative thoughts only. Something which has happened in past. Someone told me like this, my mother-in-law, my father-in-law, my uncle, my auntie, my mother, my father, my friend, my boss, my manager, all of this only comes to our head. Oh, my child has told something. So all of this. So I would say, self-control is not at all a great thing, or self-controlling is something which is not there in our hands also. It is very involuntary for us. The thoughts will come like that only. It's so involuntary. It is not voluntarily we are trying to bring it. So let be it. So when the thought comes, when the emotion comes, when the feeling comes, just be with it, become self-aware of it. And like how, when you're feeling cold, you'll become self-aware. Oh, I'm feeling too cold, let me do something like this, and things like that. Become self-aware of it. Once you become self-aware of it, instead of controlling it, self-regulate yourself. That's what I would put it across, sir.
I think the best example is now the COVID-19, madam. No?
Yes, sir. Yes.
I think, yeah.
Absolutely.
You simply said the cold. Now we can take it an example of COVID-19 also.
Madam? Yeah, absolutely.
Great, ma'am. Great. So thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much for your time.
Yes.
And so
I
if
think
participants...
Priya ma'am,
Yes.
I think we should have a complete emotional intelligence session with all the faculty members, ma'am. They have so many questions and they're so much interested. Thank you so much.
Ma'am. Sure, ma'am. In near future, we can do that.
We'll do
And
that.
thank you all for joining with us. And if you have any other further connect, you can connect to ma'am through LinkedIn. And in the group, we will share the ma'am detail also. So thank you all. Thank you,
Yes.
ma'am. Thank you so much.
I left my phone number also. Please, you can contact me at any point of time. Yeah.
Sure, ma'am.
We'll
plan a session in future, ma'am.
Sure, ma'am.
Yes,
Thank
ma'am.
you. Thank you
sure.
so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Romba nama nandri. Thank you.
Thank you. Kavita, you're on mute.
Ma'am, I'm taking leave from the session.
Yes, ma'am. Please, ma'am, you can. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you. So shall we wind up? So thank you, participants.